Hello. So this is Shelby and Kat Galinas with the Yugen Institute, and today we are talking to Eleana Oceanheart. Eleana is an artist who recently created a painting for us, and it's specifically for the Yugen Institute, and today we're going to talk to her about that, and I'm really excited to introduce her to all of you.
So I'm going to read Eleana's bio. So Eleana Oceanheart is a visionary artist, writer, dancer based in England. Eleana creates unique, multi-dimensional paintings, specializing in canvases for sacred spaces. These radiant works of art support the client in fully anchoring divine presence and purpose here on Earth. Eleana's paintings have been exhibited in England and Hawaii. Eleana is passionate about dance. With 25 years of experience in the field of bodywork and energy healing, her work is fueled by the natural intelligence of the body, its ability to activate healing and awaken love. Recently, she started her own form of expressive dance, working individually and in groups. Much of Eleana's life has been spent in the presence of wild dolphins and whales around the world. They've been her friends and allies on a profound journey of heart awakening. They infuse her work with a sense of lightness and joy. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great to be here and talk a little bit about my work, which is often quite difficult because when we're dealing with energy, it's like, how do you express that in words? But let me talk about Yugen, and that will helpfully I can express what it is that I do in terms of the artwork. Yugen was a wonderful, wonderful painting because all I was given was this word, Yugen, which had this beautiful meaning. And I felt really excited about that because it felt very sort of abstract. So what I really did, and what I do when I do a lot of my work, is just to become very present and tune in to the high levels. What is it that wants to be expressed through me? And that's very much how my work is. It's like, what is it that's wanting to be expressed? Life is a series of energy, of flowing, of waves. So with Yugen, I tuned in, and what I sensed was a being that really existed on the higher levels. For me, everything before it comes into physicality exists on those higher levels. And Yugen actually seemed to be like a being. The being was a she. She was very clear on how she wanted to come through. The process with Yugen was I connected on those higher levels. And my job in a way was to, obviously with what you're doing energetically, with your presence, was to anchor that onto canvas. The process, a lot of it happened energetically. A lot of the work I do starts initially in sound. It's like the sound actually goes into the canvas. It's almost like an imprint for the painting. And then from then I was guided as to what wanted to come in. Difficult to remember and describe, but I was very clearly guided. It was really from those higher levels. So it started to come, and it would be, I'd be directed with do this. And I'd be like, my ego would be going, what? It wants to be green? But it's very much a process of surrender. And so that was created over many months. And I was very in tune with different energies that wanted to come through, different things that wanted to present. And the sense was that it was a real container for this beautiful work. In essence, that's what it was. This was something that wanted to be birthed into the world. And I was part of that process through the painting.
I love that. Yeah, I remember when you were going through your process over the months of having Yugen coming out through into your painting. I remember you would communicate with us and let us know about the process and like, this is where it is today and this is where it is today. And I remember feeling very excited about the new things that would come through that you would let us know about.
Did they make sense? Did they have relevance for you? Did they resonate in any way?
I think so.
One of my favorite ones was you were like, yeah, I'm having such a hard time getting this in, and what's going on? And we just had all this drama erupt in one of our cohorts that we were leading, and all the students were fighting with each other and triggered. And then I got this email from you like, what is happening? And I was, oh yeah.
Like, actually, this makes a lot of sense.
This makes sense.
Oh, right. Well, that's interesting to hear that.
As soon as we had worked through everything that was coming up for Kat and I and all of our cohort, got another email like, oh, it's really opened up. It was really very sweetly synchronistic for me. There was a way I felt almost less alone, actually, and kind of role of leader, which can sometimes feel lonely for me, and watching everyone and holding things I'm not necessarily in. So yeah, I'm enjoying remembering that.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Because we haven't really spoken at all about what your experience was from the other side. Yeah, I'm really liking hearing that.
Yeah, it really goes along with how at least I feel about it, is that Yugen is a living presence, and it's like organic, and it's being shaped and growing. And that with me and Shelby too, we're being shaped and growing. And yeah, it was very cool to hear how you were attuned to it all in such a
Mm.
in such an intimate way without even realizing.
Yeah, it was funny because it was only through that painting that I really got to realize what it is that I do when I am doing these energy paintings. I hadn't realized the sort of depth that was, and all that was going on. Quite extraordinary, really.
So for those who are listening, if they would want a painting like this with you or from you, how might they find you or reach out to you?
Yes. So what I do is I call the process essence creation. What you just need to do is go to my website, have a look under commissions. There is some information there. I usually say that we have a meeting together, a short meeting, and just talk about what it is that what aspect of your life is it that you're wanting to support? In a way, what is it you're really wanting to anchor here? So we have that chat, and I think through that process, I get really kind of guided as to what wants to come. And I don't work in commissions of terms of, can you paint me with my dog? It's not really that kind of work. It's very energetic, and it's a healing process. People do go through profound transformations because we're working with the whole being. So as I'm working energetically, shifts are going on for people, and also for me, it's always a true two-way street. We're in relationship, we're in connection. Yeah, and I think there are some examples of commissions on that page that you can see, and it's very varied. I mean, recently I just did a painting for a beautiful couple that had just met, and it was really helping them embody and anchor their relationship. I've done things for very sort of unusual things. I think it's for people who have an awareness of energy, are really wanting to celebrate whatever it is in their life. They're very energetic, my works of art. There's a lot coming through, but I'm very conscious sometimes, we've got dolphins, we've got whales, we've got Mother Maui coming in. So the paintings have really got what I call codes of consciousness. There's activations within them. These paintings are really like living, breathing beings, and they last for the lifetime. They last for your lifetime, and they continue to work with you. Somebody said they're a living, breathing being. I think that, in a way, is, in a nutshell, what they are.
So I would say I would agree that you were painting it throughout our second cohort, like running our second course in the second year that Yugen has been running. And I think it finished around the time that the course ended. And there was this kind of experience of feeling like something had come to life. And I know that when we look at the painting, and we have some pictures of it now in our social media as well, and there's something about it where it's culminated something in a physical presence. So I would say that feels very true for me.
Eleana, I'm curious if you can say more about some of your dance work. Talk about that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved to dance. I've always felt it's one of the most joyful things in the world. Recently, I completed a course in something called Dance of Awareness, which is very similar to the 5 rhythms. And what I've done is I've used this as the grounding for a sort of dance, expressive dance, conscious dance classes. And I think what's become so apparent to me, and this was amazing because through lockdown, I was on my own and it was very intense. The way I navigated it was through dance. I would just dance my way through everything. I began to realize, I mean, I've known this for a long time through the body work, that the body is just so incredibly intelligent and will communicate to us whatever is going on. I really saw that in lockdown, and I just started to dance and was really just connecting with, it would take me right back, through anything emotional. It would connect me right back home, back to joy, back to love. I sort of followed the protocol of the training, but then I realized there's so much more. There's so much more that wants to be expressed through the body. So I've started teaching. We're yet to find a name. It's called Dance with Eleana Oceanheart, but it's really just guiding people into their bodies and really giving them permission to freely express. And that can show up in many different ways. And it's about really returning back to yourself. I think I've just said that. But yeah, I'm really fired up about this. It's always been my passion. As a kid, I loved to dance, and it's a very primal thing. And what I'm noticing often is, when I'm dancing, I'm connecting back into lifetimes where I would be dancing, or I'd connect into a past life, and immediately, rather than it being a very cerebral thing, it becomes really physical, and I can actually shift the energy just through that process of bringing my awareness into my body. Yeah, that's the dance. And I'm hoping to start a sort of closed group from next January. And over the next few months, that will be online, I think, at this point. Probably some little pop-up dances over the next few months. So again, you can find those on the website. Yeah, and you don't need any experience. This isn't about looking beautiful. I mean, this is just letting it all hang out, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Feeling impacted by all the modes of expression and sensing that I'm hearing you have access to, and I'm excited to get to engage with you in those ways more, and hopefully for some of our people to get to engage with you in those ways.
And I think also the movement as well, if people are doing a lot of processing, it can get that's just something I'm aware of. It's like energies can get really stuck in the body, and just being able to bring that sense of fluidity and flow through the energy just really helps shift things through in a very joyful way as well. I've written a book. It's called The White Whale, Hope for Humanity. Very quickly, it's my story. It's my life story from the perspective of what it means to awaken, and of the awakening human being, the heart opening, the smashing of the ego. And it's a very juicy journey. There's a lot of exciting things that go on. And it's woven together with my experiences with wild dolphins and whales. What I didn't realize at the time, I just had to write. I had to write it. I was stuck at my parents', and it was my way out of really just, bringing everything to consciousness. And but what's the book now, my intention is that it can really assist people. It deals with some very human issues. In all its goriness. So that will hopefully come online towards the end of this year, beginning of next. So that's The White Whale. And the white whale is Migaloo, who is the albino humpback whale, who's very present in Australia.
Thanks, Eleana, for presencing your book. Again, I'm just kind of struck by all the ways you express yourself in the world and sense information. And so that's Eleana Oceanheart. We'll have all your links beneath wherever we post this, and a photo of our Yugen painting that we love. And I'm really glad we were able to have you today.
Same.
Thanks, Shelby. Really, really lovely to connect with you both again.